Determine the measure of angle XYZ. Now this question is a bit different than the last because we use different letters. Furthermore, we follow a different pattern. X, Y, Z. We're going this way in terms of increasing from letter to letter. X, Y, Z. Still, the question looks very similar. We're simply going to try to find the two angles and add them up. So we'll call this angle X, and we'll call this angle theta. So we need to find out these angles, and so we'll focus on each triangle separately. Now what we have here for this left triangle is simply one side. That's not enough information. However, what I see here is that we can determine the length of this bottom part here by focusing on these two measurements. The whole distance minus this distance is equals to this length here. So this length from here to here is going to be 20 minus 12. 20 minus 12 is 8. So we have 8 over here. So now we have 8 centimeters, 5 centimeters. We have the opposite and we have the adjacent. So recall SOHCAHTOA, we have the opposite and the adjacent. So we're going to be using tan, the tangent. So tan x is equals to the opposite over adjacent, which is 8 over 5. And we simply take the inverse tan of both sides, which gets x. Now, if you were asked to show your work, you really should use the algebraic step of taking the inverse tan or the inverse trig of both sides. However, if you're just asked to compute the answer, you can just start working with your calculator immediately. So let's use second tan, which is tan inverse of 8 divided by 5, enter, is 59.99 degrees. So we have x is approximately equals to 57.99 degrees. Now let's focus on the second triangle. For theta, we have the opposite and we have the adjacent. Again, we have the opposite and the adjacent. Again, we're going to use tan. Tan theta is equals to the opposite, which is 12, over the adjacent, which is 5. So again, if we just want the answer, you can jump straight to your calculator. So the inverse tan of both sides exposes angle theta. So I'm going to go second tan, 12 divided by 5, bracket, equals 67.38 degrees. So just to show you, I'm just going to write it in here. This is approximately 67.38 degrees. Now, the goal is to find the angle y, essentially x, y, z, these two angles added. So what I'm going to do with my calculator is simply press plus. It takes the previous answer, which was 67.38, and I'm going to add it. I'm going to push the up arrow, up, up, up. I'm going to add it with the previous answer, which was 57.99. Enter. And then enter one more time. And there's our total. So the final answer, angle XYZ, is approximately equals to 125.4 degrees.